Thanks for tuning in to Any Given Sunday Sports Special. We're back, Steven
Where
and
have we
Zeus.
been?
Where
Have we been? I've been getting messages. I've been getting text messages. Where are you? Where's the show? We haven't heard any predictions. Guys,
People are mad.
I told you we would get it in time. Look, stuff happens. Steve had some situations. I had some situations, but we're here. I promise you guys. We will have your picks every week. I never let you down. This is what makes the league go. We just recently had a 3-team trade. Look, we ain't going nowhere. We right here.
We're alive and well. We are alive and well.
I don't think they care about that.
So here is what we're going to do. We're going to go into our matchups. We're going to start with what we think is the worst game and work our way all the way up to the best game. We did this last year, so you people in the bottom don't feel bad. It's based off last year's results, so calm down, okay? All right, let's start it off.
Get over it.
Let's start off with our first game. We have the Dream Killers going in to the Dominican Elites. My friend Jesus, as always, I allow you to go first. What say you on this matchup?
Come on, man. I mean, this to me isn't even going to be I'm sorry. I'm making it very clear. I do not like what Jeff De La Rosa has done. Yes, he had a good team if everybody would have stayed healthy. The problem is people didn't stay healthy. Jordy's out. Foster's out.
Yep.
Your guy Bryant suspended. You have too many people that are either out, injured, suspended. There's too much going on. Because of that, I'm not buying into it this week. Even though you look at it, man, this is tough because you look at the other side and you look at Lewis's team and he doesn't have Le'Veon Bell either. It's going to be tough for Lewis. But I just don't believe in Jeff right now. I really don't. I think Jeff is trying too much to prove that he's not going to panic, that he's hurting himself. So I just think not because he shouldn't win this game, because if you look at the rosters, it says he should win this game. He has the better players for this week because of the suspensions and injuries that Lewis is dealing with. But no, I'm not picking Jeff just because I think karma in this case is going to come back and it's going to find a way to bite him somehow because he's too laid back. He thinks it's going to be all right. He's freely admitted he can lose the first couple of games and be okay. That's not the way you manage your team. That's just not. Lewis wins.
Yeah, this one is a tough one, and I'm very disappointed in Jeff's team because Jeff found himself in a very bad situation, and he could have gotten out of it, and he refused. He's done nothing to address this problem. On the other side, you do have Lewis, and Lewis is dealing with some stuff. When Le'Veon Bell comes back, he will be in a much better position, but I still believe in this case, I think he has somewhat of a decent roster to pull this off. It is slightly, I guess, what you would call, like you said, an upset, but it's really not an upset when you really look at it. So I have to agree with my man on the other side of the screen, and I have to go with Lewis. I think Lewis is going to be the man who wins out, and I think it's going to be a close game, but that's what I have.
It's good. And look, Jeff, man, you're going to say we're hating on you. We're not hating on you, but you're trying too much to prove that you're not panicked. Making a trade doesn't mean you're panicked. Making a trade means you're trying to improve it. Now, making a trade just for the sake of doing a trade, that's different. But you've had a horrible time since the draft ended, and it's a shame. It really, really is a shame.
Yep.
Next up, let's go. We got Shakir versus Anthony. What you got?
All right, so the Shakir versus Anthony, and I love their names, by the way. Slightly punty vibe versus Django. I had a chuckle. I don't get
it. I don't get it. But go ahead. What you got?
But in this case, we got to go with Shakir's team. Shakir has better matchups this time. He's got LaShawn McCoy going against Indianapolis, which is a really juicy matchup. Des Bryant against the Giants is always good. He's going to put up decent numbers. Tony Romo against the Giants has been historically well. On the other side, it's just too young of a roster, I feel like. Jeremy Maclin against Houston, that's tough.
That's all right. That's all right because they don't have a good secondary. He's gonna get something.
And
look, I'm admitting it. I was wrong about Jeremy Maclin.
It.
Everybody listen. I'm going to be live on there right now and say it. I was wrong about Jeremy Maclin.
Thank you.
Jeremy Maclin is going to do wonders out there in Kansas City. Steve and Anthony, you were right. I was wrong. He will do great out there, I think, in KC. He will be a top 15 receiver.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, going with Shakir. What's your pick?
Shaquille. I mean, Anthony once again just doesn't cease to amaze me. He does it every year, and he just continues to have bad drafts. And now he's saying, "Well, I'm trying to build for the future." You could still build for the future and still draft a pretty good team. Again, he left too much money on the table at the end of the draft. This is just what he does. This is, ugh, yeah, it stinks. Smells real bad.
All
Next
right.
up, we
Next,
have Dom and Ross. You want me to go first, or you want to go first on this one?
I'll allow you to go first.
Thank you so much. I mean, Dom had all that money. Dom did the same thing Anthony did. He tried to get a bunch of keepers. When you have over $260 for a draft, you do not draft for keepers. You draft to win now. You draft to win now. And because of that, Ross is going to win. Hands down, without a doubt. Let's go. Ross all day. Yeah. And Dom, you have no chance on this one. No, I'm saying it. He has no chance.
Really?
Yes. Matt Forte, Peyton Manning, Golden Tate, Keenan Allen, Lamar Miller, Melvin Gordon. Yeah, he doesn't have a chance. He not against that matchup, not against that lineup.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to pick different on you on this one. I think he does have a chance. I think the fact that he got Tom Brady back, he's got Jeremy Hill against Oakland. I mean, come on. Odell Beckham Jr. is gonna do great. I think Amari Cooper is probably not a good start, but
Thank you.
on the other side, you have I mean
Where?
Keenan
Where?
Allen. Yeah, I guess Keenan Allen is gonna
Where?
beat him out. But then here it is. You have
Yeah,
Tyler Eifert against Oakland. That's
yeah.
better than
Tyler Eifert can't even play.
Jason
Play a
Witten.
full game.
Jason
can't even
Witten
play a
doesn't
full
do
game.
anything. All right.
Yes, he does. Against the Giants, he kills the Giants.
And then you have Alfred Morris against Miami, who I think is going to do great. And on the other side, you have Melvin Gordon, which last time, I mean, against Detroit.
Guys,
so
on this show,
I don't know.
we're gonna start a new thing this year. Okay, where we're gonna have a board bet every single week. So this is our bet this week.
Okay.
Melvin Gordon will outscore Alfred Morris this week. Agreed?
That's a board bet. I'll take Alfred Morris.
Book it. Book it. And whoever is wrong has to come on this show and apologize to the other.
All right. I like my chances.
Book it.
I like my chances. I go Dom on this one, sir.
All right, let's go next one. New York Powers at Rich. Oh, I'm sorry, Rich at New York Powers.
Yeah, this one is close. This is a tough one because I think truly Rich had the best draft this year. He came out of it with a really good team. You didn't really have to do some drafting on your end, so all right. So
Calvin Johnson, Eddie Lacy, that wasn't drafting? Are you serious?
Yeah, you had a good draft as well. It's clearly, in my opinion, this may be a preview for the end of the year championship. I'm just saying. I'm
I'm celebrating. Throw the confetti. Throw the confetti.
Throw the confetti. But I have to say in this, I thought about this long and hard. I think truthfully, it's just too much for Rich to handle. And the New York Powers somehow squeeze it out. I love Eddie Lacy against Chicago. I love Antonio Brown against New England. I love AJ Green against Oakland. I can keep going if you guys want, but I'm going to spare the semantics. Jesus and the Powers get the win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up. I actually have to pick the Powers too. I'm gonna look. I know you guys say that I always pick against myself and care about jinxing. I don't care about jinxing anymore. I really don't. I'm just gonna be honest. And the New York Powers right now have a better roster. This to me is going to be the toughest game for the New York Powers all season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disrespecting everybody else in the league. I'm not disrespecting the champ, but the champ, you're not gonna win a championship this year. Pops, I'm sorry, you're not three-peating this year.
Calling
Your
you
roster's
out.
not good enough.
Calling
Your
you
roster's
out.
not good enough to three-peat this year. To me, Rich is probably he had the best draft. I agree with you on that, and it's going to be between very few teams, not including Pops this year. I'm sorry, I don't want to say specifically who because then people are going to get offended if I don't say their names. But it's definitely, I mean, Rich is definitely up there. He had the hands down the best draft. I just happened to inherit a couple of good players, so that was my benefit on that. I didn't really have to do much drafting. We got one more left. I know we're running out of time.
Yep.
We got
last
the game
one.
of the week.
Game of the week,
Pops
the
and you.
rematch, and the rematch. I'm gonna have to go with Pops. Unfortunately, I have to go with Pops because of, I mean, there are certain things. There's just a lot of question marks on the Tampa Empire side. We haven't seen Evans yet. Randall Cobb has been hurting. He's gonna start. He's gonna come back. That's confirmed. T.Y. Hilton should be back from the concussion, but they're playing Buffalo. That's going to be really hard. I think Brandon Cooks and Olsen are going to do great. I think luck will always be luck. But on the other side of things, when you have Rodgers playing Chicago, when you have a DeMarco Murray playing Atlanta and catches patches out of the backfield, when you have a Jordan Matthews against the Atlanta defense, when you have a Jimmy Graham who's still going to catch something and do certain things for them, the only one that I would say, and Mark Ingram, he could do something against Arizona. I just think it's not enough for the Empire to win on this night, and I think Pops wins it. The question marks on the Empire.
Yeah, I just think the only reason I actually went into this week saying that I thought the Empire were going to win after they pulled off that Olsen trade, but everything that I'm hearing, Evans not practicing. I mean, can I get a mulligan on this? If Evans plays,
we
Empire
both
win.
can get a mulligan because I agree with you. That's
if
really
Evans
the difference
plays,
maker.
the Empire win. If Evans does not play, the Empire will lose to Pops. Pops just has really good matchups, but I think because you have Randall Cobb, I think that you're eliminating his best target, Aaron Rodgers' best target, which hurts Pops in a sense.
Yep.
That absolutely hurts Pops. So that was very smart on you because that's the one guy you've lost from the championship the previous 2 years. So why not take one of his best targets from him? With Jordy out, you pretty much own him now at that point. You own Rodgers in a sense. But again, if Mike Evans doesn't play, I just think that you're in a heap of trouble. But if he doesn't play, I think you need to look at Isaiah Crowe or Coleman to play, and I think both those guys will do well. But what? I'm not going to give myself a mulligan. I'm just going to get ahead and I'm going to say it. I think Pops wins this week again because even if Evans plays, how healthy is he really going to be? I just can't take the risk. Pops, I'm not calling you out. I got love for you, but I have to be honest on this show. There's better teams out there this year. Steve, I think you'll agree with me. Guys,
I agree.
Tomorrow, that's when get game starts, get your trades in. All keepers are done as soon as kickoff takes place on Thursday night. So if you want to trade for a keeper player, you have to do it before Thursday night. That's our show. Stay safe, be safe. Steve, we out.
Peace.
Peace.